Shadow. Come here. Shadow. Hey, man. Hey, Shadow. Such a good boy. Such a big boy. Shadow man, Shadow man. That's a big old dog. That's one of my most interesting dogs. That's a dog that you always hear me telling them, it's all done, be quiet. Finally showed you that dog. That I don't think I've ever really shown that dog off before. That I don't really try to put too much interaction with him because he needs to know, don't look after me, look after my chickens. And I think that he's finally starting to understand this, and soon enough he's going to upgrade to being into the main field with the main flock of chickens to be able to protect them. But something that I just enjoy taking care of. That as much as he irritates me on this process of getting them where I want him to get them, it's been an absolute blessing, because I'm going to say that he's past his 2 years old. I think he's 2.5 now, and he's still alive. And he's not ever trying to run away. He's never trying to break out. He's never trying to escape. He's never trying to fight with anything. And I'm just super excited about that. Hey, Oreo, all done. I'm super excited about that and being able to keep on moving forward with him. But today I want to talk about, why is it that everything around us is always growing? It's always growing. I always talk about changing, but you ever notice how things are always growing? Things are always just getting larger, getting taller, gaining more, doing more, having more, being about more. And you just feel like you're not quite doing that same thing. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today is a very interesting day where, for some reason, I've been thinking about growth, thinking about growing, and thinking about adding and doing more. And it's just been raining like crazy this past night and all this morning, all this day. It's been raining like excessive, just extreme thundering, extreme amount of rain. Like usually when it rains, we just get some rain, but it was pouring. It was starting to flood and style pouring really fast. And it's very, very interesting seeing that and watching that. And in reality, I kind of hope that we could dry this up a little bit before this freeze frost comes over, because it's gonna make it a little more challenging when everything is iced over. But I'm prepared this year. I got my propane heater to be able to blow off all my walking areas so I don't slip and fall and bust my butt. But all I've been thinking about is growth and growing. And I look at that dog Shadow there, and I think about, like, I don't really spend too much time with him, but every time that I see him, I'm just like, dude, you are getting big. You are huge. When you think that any dog that you've ever seen in your life is big, I'm telling you, that dog's bigger. He's huge. He makes Johnny man, my big Johnny man, Johnny, he makes this dog look small. And this dog is huge. This is a big dog right here. And something that someone said to me in one of my videos before again was like, Mark, why is your shepherd so small? My Kahi, he's not. And I realized that I'm still growing. It's a very interesting concept that I measure myself frequently, and then I realize that even at the age of 36 years old, I'm still getting a little bit taller. That I finally have reached the 6'1" stance. That it's kind of exciting. That I think I still have another one or maybe even two in there, because I don't know why, I can feel it in my body. It's a weird thing that I'm still growing. It's a weird thing that how that works and how everything is on this planet, that I feel like I didn't quite get to where I was supposed to get to on the excessive running and the excessive workouts and excessive stuff that I used to do as a kid that kind of slowed me down, but I'm starting to get there. And when I think about growing, I started growing my facial hair, because it keeps me warmer, I realize. Like, keeps my face not so cold. And it's an absolute blessing to be able to do that and be able to have that as a tool to be able to help myself being out here and help myself keep on growing along. And when I think about growing, I think about the concept of, I got to read this Bible verse right here that just came to me today, that I just read it again right now. This is some powerful stuff right here. When you read some stuff like this, it just hits you. It just gets inside of you. It just makes you think like, all right, I'm good to go. But this is in the 1 Peter, or the 5th chapter. I'm going to start at the 6th verse. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. And that's something that I'm just going to stop reading right there, because it talks about being sober mind, enemies coming around like a lion, looking to devour, resist him, stand firm in faith, because you as a family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same sufferings. Everyone's suffering the same way. You're talking about just we all suffering, we all struggling, and to make sure that we put our anxiety, we put our fears, we put our stresses, we put our dramas, we put our issues, we put our problems, we put everything on God and allow him to be able to do what it is that he needs to do to make sure that we are constantly growing and constantly moving in the right direction on this planet, and not just staying the same, and not just getting left over and just dying and withering away into absolute nothingness. That we are constantly on a path of righteousness. They are constantly on a path of succeeding. We're constantly on a path of making sure that we're able to do what is that we need to be able to do to be able to continue to keep on surviving on this planet without having any drama, without having any backlash, without having any negativity. Oh, there's going to be negativity that comes, but it's a matter of how you look at it and what it is that you do with it when challenging things come to you, when hard times and sticky situations and just tough stuff comes to you. It's a matter of what you do with it when it comes to you. Are you staying the same, or are you growing into something absolutely better, absolutely greater, absolutely just more fantastic, just upgrading, beyond upgrading to be able to do something that you've just never been able to do before? And the concept of growing doesn't mean that you're changing in and doing anything different. It just means that you're upgrading, you're updating, you're getting more of what you already are, of what you're already able to do, what you're already capable of. You're not changing into something new where you need to figure out a whole new pattern, you need new habits, you need new this. No, some of us are already, say, doing pretty good where we're at with what we're doing, that we just need to grow into it more, to start upgrading it more so that we can have more of that and be more of that and be able to do more of that, instead of just staying the same old, and continuing to think that what you're doing is say good enough. That there's a time in the day that we can say that some stuff is good enough, but we should be making sure that we're constantly doing more to make sure that we're growing more and having more and being more, so we could do something more for someone else instead of just being the same, doing the same, being the same of ourselves. And that's something for me that I don't know why, but when I think about growth, I think a lot about just grasses. I think a lot about dogs, like that Shadow Man. I got him as a puppy. He was tiny. You could carry him. He was so small. He was just in your arm, and I remember carrying him and putting him in my truck and driving him back here, putting him in his crate. He doesn't like cars. He didn't like that ride at all. And I put him in a car one more time since then. He's not a car rider, but he was so tiny. And then when I see the growth of him today, this dude is up to my hip. I'm over 6 feet tall, and this dude is up to my hip. So if you were 5'5", that dog is face to face with you. He's in your face. He's a huge animal. When I think about that, I think about the reasonings behind why he's so big. What's the purpose of him being so big? That he doesn't need to, say, change from what he was and what he used to do. He just needs to keep growing so that he's able to do his actual job, his actual tasks, his actual purpose on this planet, which is protecting, which is guarding, which is being a guardian animal that he is. And he's got to grow up to be able to get into that. And he's got to keep on growing and get to that size that now he starts to feel confident. He starts to feel like, okay, I'm good to go here. Now I'm able to do something. Now I'm able to make something happen. And I wonder how many of us just don't grow up into, say, our full potential, our full body, our full meaning, our full essence, our full spirit, that we just keep changing and doing some things where we're just like, oh, that didn't work, and oh, that didn't work, and oh, this didn't work, so let me try this out, and let me do this now, let me try this now, instead of just like growing in what it is that you are, growing into what it is that you know that you should be doing, growing in what it is that you really want to do, that you really just have a lot of inside of you that you're just like, I love this, I really enjoy this, I could do this for a long, long time. But instead, when things start to get challenging, when things start to become a little hard, when things start to just become defeating, you don't just take that as oh, let me just quit that and move on to, my dogs are so cute, and move on to something else because you're like, this just isn't working. Why are we not, like, basically in reality kind of forcing ourselves to grow into it? Because it's not like anything out here gets a choice. It's not like you had a choice to be able to get to the place that you're at. You started as a baby and you had no choice but to grow up physically. Maybe mentally, a lot of us are still struggling with that. We're trying to figure out what it is that we're doing to make sure that we are doing what we need to do and being a joy to society and not a menace to society. But we all had to physically grow up to get somewhere, to do something, to be something. That we don't have a choice in that. So why isn't that we look at that logic when it comes to more stuff on this planet with what it is that we do and what it is that we're constantly getting ourselves into? That we start a task and we just quit that task because it gets said too hard. Like for me, thinking about this whole process of getting started and doing this dog training stuff, like it was an extreme challenge. I mean, one of the most challenging challenges that I think I've ever had to deal with trying to grow into doing something different. When I tried to change into something different, it was, I would have to say, the most challenging thing that I've ever been a part of. Just the concept of being able to get there and get it done, and everything that was going on around me, and everything that just kept happening to me along the way, that I could have said, you know, I'm going to make a change for this change, because that change of the change of going in, I'm working animals, to the change of, let me just quit this and move something else because this is too challenging. Instead of for me just saying, you know what, Mark, let's just dial in on this and let's just grow into this and just make this work. We're going to make this work. We're going to make it work, and we're going to have no choice but to make it work, because this is something that I feel like I just need to do, and I need to be able to have. I need to be able to acquire skills needed to be able to make this happen. And for me, I just have a real good concept, a real good understanding of growth, of knowing that you got to just keep working at it. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep digging at it. You got to keep pushing forward at it. You can't just switch it up and change and go into something different. That you need to do what it is that you're doing, and you know you're good at it. But we always run into a place where it's just challenging, where it's just rough, where it's just like you feel like you're not moving anymore. You feel like you're not getting any better anymore. You feel like you're not doing anything with it anymore, where it's just an absolute standstill. And that's the time that you need to grow more into it, that you need to push even harder to make sure that you're upgrading from what it is that you're currently doing, that you're never, say, a said master at anything on this planet, that you're constantly learning more and more to how to be able to do more and more and how to be able to get more and more, that you're constantly doing what it takes to be able to have more and be more, because there's no way that you could possibly be a perfectionist master at anything possible on this planet. There's always a new theory, there's always a new way, there's always a new teaching, there's always something new with everything, with anything that's out here on this planet, that you're never just the best at it, that you get to a point where you feel like, I just want to change it up, but in reality, that may be a time that you need to just like dial in, dial up, and start to just getting better and better at what it is that you're doing. And the better and better that you really start getting at doing what it is that you're doing, the more that you're going to be able to teach and be able to share that information with the next person along the way. That you're going to be just like I said, the master of it, so that everything that you do is so simple. Everything that you do, you tried this, you tried that, and then when you start to really try things that you're just not sure of, you start to try things that you even would think that aren't going to work. You try some stuff to just say, I'm going to try this knowing it's going to fail, and I'm going to try it anyways. And that's because that's how good you are, because you know that even if it did fail, you know that you're able to fix it, because you know how to fix the things. You know how to do it. You know how to make it happen. So you're going to do some things that are just going to set yourself up for failure just to see. Someone said that wouldn't work, that wasn't going to work. Just try it. Why don't you try it? Just see what's going to happen. And then that's how you're able to really be able to upgrade yourself, to be able to really help a whole lot of people out on this planet, to be able to do what it is that they need to do, because you've tried the things that failed. You watched it fail. You didn't just think about it and didn't do it and didn't happen. You didn't just do the things that always just worked. That you're around it with everything and everything that you know about with whatever it is that you're working with. It's like for me, even with these dogs, I love to try new things that I know it's not going to work. I'm like, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to give me what I'm looking for. But I still try to see. I tried to see exactly what's going to happen, especially with this dog. A challenge that I did with this dog, to just see, I just could question over and over all the time, how do you people get your dogs like they are inside of your houses that I keep going to? How is it that your dog is just going crazy, going wild, going savage, just being a beast, a true beast that it is, and having absolutely no control and feeling like it has no understanding that you are the one that's in control of it, that you are the one that's managing it, that you are the one that's taking care of it. And I started doing some tests with that dog to try to replicate that. And those tests showed me exactly what you guys are doing. So this is a very, very interesting thing, because this concept that I did with this dog really upgraded my let's get down. It really upgraded my training plan, my training skills with what it is that I do. You good, Johnny? What it is that or let's get down. What it is that I do with dogs, because all right, Johnny, you done now too. Down. What it is I do with them, because I was able to replicate, get him into doing what it is that I was looking for, what I seen everyone doing. So then I did all those, say, failures, where I was like, I know this is going to do that. I know this is going to do this. I know this is going to happen if I do this. And I did it. I just did it anyways. And then I watched him start going what I would consider downhill to the point that he just starts disrespecting me. He starts to just not listen to me. He starts to just run away from me. He starts to snap at me. He starts to growl at me. He starts to be pushy and starts to not wanting to get off the bed. He started to just do all kinds of crazy things. And I'm just like, I see the dog that everyone I work for now it has inside of their house. So it led me into a situation that me just continuing to grow into understanding what it is that I'm doing, to be able to upgrade what it is that I'm doing, and being able to help out more people in a completely different way without feeling confused and without feeling like thrown off that I've tried every single method. I've tried every single way. Instead of just, okay, it's good enough. Let's just move on to the next thing and let's just go somewhere else. Let's just do something else. That there's no time for that if you're already doing what it is that you should be doing. If you're already in what it is that you're good at. If you're already making happen what you should be making happen. That's something that you shouldn't be constantly just like, I need to just find that next thing, find that next thing, find that next thing. Because I'm telling you, that's only going to lead you to absolute destruction in a way of being super stressed out and super irritated, super paranoid. That's something that I feel like there's some misinformation that's being spread out a lot, that a lot of people are on the trip of, oh yeah, millionaires all got like 7 sources of income and they got this and this and this. It's like, yeah, but they didn't start off with 7. They started off with 1, dialed it in really good. It's just lessons right here, people, that I don't know why this information doesn't be spread to everybody. That they dialed in on one thing and that's how they made some money. And then once they got really good at that and they started making real good income from that, and then they stopped having to work so much with having to be able to still continue to make that income, then they started their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th thing. You don't just start 8 things today and think that you're going to be good to go and you're going to make it all happen. You don't have enough time in a day. You don't have enough energy in a day. You don't have enough mindset. You don't have enough anything to be able to possibly continue to do it. Oreo, let's get down. You don't have enough to even constantly consider to even be able to think about doing that. So you really need to dial in on one thing. You really need to dial up on one task that it is that you need to stay focused in on, and start to just really do what it takes to be able to make sure that that is a success, that you don't have to worry about anything else, that you don't have to worry so much about how to get it done. You don't have to worry about it much at all. That it's just like it's a background thing for you. It's just super simple to you, that you don't have anything that you have to even worry about with getting it done. And when I think about growth in a way that I watch this grasses out here with doing what it does. Like even right now, the way that I see it, Oreo, down. So I'm gonna be firm now because it's the second time in 2 minutes, down. I sit out here and look at these grasses out here, and I just continue to watch it just keep on growing and doing what it does. Where I'm just super impressed with the concept of, we get this heavy rain and we just watch this grass just keep on growing. And for me, the grass, when it grows, I get excited. I get excited because to me, that's free food. I love free food. Free food to me is it just gets me super jazzed up. It gets me feeling real good. It gets me just super excited about what it is that I'm doing out here and getting done what I need to get done out here. And I just watch it grow and grow and grow. If that grass decided, you know what, I want to change it up. I want to change it up now. You know, I don't want to be grass. I want to be something else. I don't even know what else a piece of grass would possibly want to be. But if it just decides in itself that I want to be something different, that'd really jam up the whole system out here. If these trees came up and just decided, you know what, I don't want to be trees no more. I want to do something different. I want to be something different. That'd really change some things, just jam some things up out here. And that may sound silly, but I feel like a lot of us do that. We take something that's just already working, it's already looking good, it's already doing good, but yeah, we try to change it and transform it into something else. And when we do that, we absolutely just sabotage it to the absolute point, just sabotage it to death, just destroy it, just lead it straight to destruction. And not watching it grow anymore, but watching it change into something that isn't supposed to be there. Because if that grass doesn't grow, which is supposed to be grass that's supposed to be growing, it's not going to be able to take care of the next thing that comes to be able to work with it and be able to use it and be able to utilize it. That it's going to be just jammed up. It's not going to do what it needs to do. It's going to run into a very sticky situation. And I wonder, how many of y'all do that? How many of y'all take something that you're working on and you look at it and you're like, I like this, it's working good. And then you just change it all up into something that it's not supposed to be, thinking that it's going to be better or do better or have better or something more will come from it or anything like that. That you end up just leading yourself into destruction. And then you wonder why. My life just isn't working. My life is no good. My life is just so this, is so that, and not just really dialing up and growing into what it is that you're supposed to be doing. But you just always think that everything in your life is a failure. You think that everything in your life is just no good. You think that everything in your life is just trash. You think that everything that you start is always going to fail. You think that you're just always a failure. And then when you do that about 3 or 4 times, shoot, some people once or twice, you fail once and you just think like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to be a part of that again. I'm never going to get into that again. And then that's just something that's just so, it's so damaging. It's not right. It's not good. That you got to keep trying. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing something. You got to keep trying to do something to make something happen so that you can continue to keep figuring out and doing what it is that you need to do. that most cases, most times, you've already done it. You've already been a part of it. You've already made happen something that you should have already been focusing in and dialing in on to be able to continue to keep on growing into, that you just abandoned it because you felt like it wasn't going say fast enough for you. And that's another interesting concept that I think that we run into as a human being, as a human species, that when we watch other people too much and we see what they're doing, or we assume, that's a great word, I like it. When we assume and we perceive, it's another good word. I love those two words. They're very, very interesting words to human society, that when you assume and perceive that the people that you're watching on your internet and your telephones and all your social media apps and all that stuff, that you assume and you perceive that they are doing faster and going more than what you're going, when you have no idea what they're doing behind the scenes. You have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. You have no idea what they're dealing with. You have no idea what's happening to them to be able to get and be able to have and be able to keep on maintaining what it is that they're showing you that they have. Because most cases, especially if it's Instagram, they're just showing you one picture of so this camera shoots at 60 frames, or I got to set to 24 frames a second, that it can shoot 24 pictures in 1 second. And most of our phones, if you're shooting 4K on an iPhone, it's shooting 60 pictures in 1 second. So in 1/60th of a second, that's all you're seeing of their day, when we have 24 hours in one day. And I don't think that y'all are really paying close attention to that. The fact of you can, and anyone can, just stand up and just have one good looking picture and one good looking thing. And then just in reality people, just, I don't know why I just thought about this, but it just came to me because it's just something that I got to say, that I feel like so many of us run into a situation with this, that we think that someone else has and they really don't, because they have it and then they just go back and return it the next day. They have it and then they go sell it or pawn it or do what they got to do. They have it and it was just one of their friends. They have it and they stole it from somewhere. That's all that they do. They don't actually have it. So you think that they have it based on the pictures and the things that they're doing. You think that they're all about it because of everything that they're showing off with it. But you don't know if they turned it and returned it later on. You don't know those dresses and those shirts and all that stuff that these girls and these guys are wearing, that they don't just leave the tags on it, put it on, take a real cute picture, and then take it back to the store and say, yeah, the size didn't fit. It's a $5,000 outfit, but all they did was take that $5,000, go to the store, and just return it and get their money right back. And they just took one picture. And then they keep doing that over and over and over from all these different stores, going to all these different places, and continue to keep doing that to make you look like they're just, life is just amazing. Like, how are you doing that? How are you keeping up with that? How are you constantly able to just keep getting just getting inside of your feelings, where they're constantly just changing and changing. They're not growing. They're not doing what it is that we need to do to get better and better at what it is that we have, because there's going to come a time in the day that all those little slick tactics don't work anymore. And I don't know if y'all pay attention to this or not, but there's just not too many people. Like, I don't know 100%, but I'm just going to say it, that I just, from what I know, what I have a good understanding of, all these people that just have all this fancy stuff, they don't last. they're not there for a long time. They're there for a year, 2 or 3, and then they just like fade away into just nothingness. Like, remember that person? Like, yeah, that person, because they can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with it. They don't know how to keep up with it. And that's why you need to grow and grow and grow so that you can keep up with it. Everything out here is keeping up, is doing what it's got to do, is maintaining and managing the way it needs to manage. Except us human beings, our dogs are keeping up, growing and growing and growing and doing what they need to do to be able to maintain the way they need to maintain. Except for us as human beings, we're constantly just moving and shifting and doing this and creating this and trying to get in this and dabbling with that and doing this and trying to follow this person because this person looks fun and this person looks great. I want to do this and that looks fun, and constantly changing. I want to live in a van because the van is cool. I want to live in a tiny house because tiny is cool. I want a mansion now because, that's wrong. You're constantly just shifting and changing and going in different places, and that's staying on a specific route. That route is set up and is there for you to have success on this planet, and not trying to sit here and destroy you and make you feel as if you're lacking and don't have enough, and feeling like you're living in a state of anxiety and feeling like you're living in a state of just depression in reality because you're not able to get what it is that you want. And you think what you want is what you see someone else has, but the thing that someone else has, you don't know what they had to do to get it, and you don't know what it actually takes to even be able to obtain some of this said stuff that you constantly keep on wanting. Oreo, down. Where's my leash at? You don't want to do what it takes. Johnny, you can get out of here. You can go. You don't know what it takes to even be able to get a lot of this stuff, and that's the thing that Oreo, down. That's the thing that I think that a lot of us run into situations with. We're constantly trying to keep on gaining more and more stuff. We're constantly trying to gain more and more things instead of just realizing that we're good to go. We're good to go with ourselves. We're good to go with what it is that we have. We're good to go with what it is that we're currently doing. That we just need to grow more into it. We just need to grow up and start to pay more attention to what it is that we already have and start to really make it look good. Start to grow up into what it is that we have and start to really perfect at what it is that we have, to become the beyond extreme master at what it is that we have, and become make everything that we have the best of the best. Because like, just look around at everything that you have. Like there's this very interesting situation with every single vehicle that I ever get. This vehicle here is in a work in progress in reality, that all of mine, I do the exact same thing. I always, not always, but I most always buy used vehicles. And I like used vehicles because, for one, they're cheaper. And two, I like buying, I buy weird stuff. I like buying stuff that's like broken a little bit. It's got to have issues. And that's how I could even get a better deal. I get a better deal because it's got a little issue. And I know how to fix things because I put it inside of myself to make sure that I'm not constantly changing things, that I'm just fixing it and growing it up to start to be good and start to have good, start to have better things. There's something in me, every vehicle I get it, and especially my old Jeep Comanche. It's out there in the field because it ran out of gas the last time I was driving out there trying to get some firewood, and I just left it out there for a little bit. I got to find me a gas can that's good to go. A lot of them got all water in them right now, so I got to clean one out to get out of there. But when I got that thing, it just wasn't running. It just wasn't working. But I found it in me that I noticed everything that I have that's around me is just constantly, I'm fixing it and fixing it and fixing it to get it to the point of now it's complete, now it's good to go. Now I don't have to worry about changing it up, doing this. Now I can just use it for a while. I drove that old 88 Jeep Comanche for over 3 years. No, actually more than that. Yeah, well over 3 years. So that was my daily driver. I just drove that old car. Well, how old is that thing? It's 2 years younger than me. So a 34-year-old car. Actually, it's 35 years old because of the way the cars are made. I just drove that everywhere all the time because I realized that I can put more into what I already have, instead of trying to change it up and get something new to just be a quick fix and just try to make it happen. That every time that you do that, you're just headed for failure after failure after failure, instead of already just taking what you have and just really starting to make it really nice. Take your house right now. If you talking about, I want a new one, I want a better one, I want to go here, why is your house right now not looking brand new? Why is it not looking premium? And I don't care if you rent there. Why is it not looking premium? Why is it not the cleanest of the cleanest? Why are the walls have marks and scuffs on them? Why didn't you repaint the whole thing? Why is the outside got little pieces here and there? Like I got an endless supply of things out here to work on. And that's why I absolutely love being on this farm type stuff, that there is never a day that there's something that doesn't need to be worked on. I could just look in this one little frame right here and see all kinds of issues going on where the fence isn't right back there. There's pieces missing, it's leaning right there. Some of the trees still need to be trimmed up. Like there's an endless amount of things out here to keep on doing. And that's for me, that's just awesome. But it might be a little bit too much for someone, especially for just one person being out here. This is just extreme. This is extreme for me being out here just by myself doing what it is that I'm doing. But I feel like we should be taking care of what we already have. If you want a new washer and dryer, why is your old one so dirty? Why is it just so messy? Why isn't it cleaned out all the time? Why has it got mud scrapes on it? Why has it got scratches all over it? Why isn't it just wiped down and dust free all the time? Why we always want this like new stuff, this other stuff, but the stuff that we currently have, we're not putting in the time to just really grow into making sure that it's good to go, making sure that it's already the best of the best that it could be, knowing that if you want something new, the only way that you're going to grab and get something new is if you go ahead and make sure that what you already have is already good to go in reality. Because the best part and the best thing to be able to do is be able to take something, because I've done this many times, of taking a vehicle even, and getting it right, getting it fixed up, and being able to let someone else use it now. Because now I got it to a really good position, I got it to a good place, and now I can go ahead and move on from it and get what it is that I actually did want to be able to work with and be able to have. And that's something that I don't feel like a lot of us really put a lot of time into, put a lot of effort into. That we're constantly just changing, but we're not actually just growing up and doing what it is that we need to do to to be able to just keep on making sure that we're maintaining what it is that we have. And I want more and more people to just really start having a good understanding of the concept of making sure that we're growing into what it is that we're good at, growing into what it is that we already have, instead of just trying to think that the next thing is going to be able to give me something more. The next thing is going to be able to make me happy. The next thing is going to be able to finally get me, I'm finally there now, and I'm good to go, and I can sit back and relax. That's just not the case. And unfortunately, but fortunately, especially today, especially in the year of 2022 and moving on to 23 here real soon, that we don't just work 60 years, get retired, and have enough money to be able to live the remainder of our lives anymore. We just don't have that say luxury anymore. That we used to be able to do such a thing, but that's just not how we are today. That we're constantly having to make sure that we're working on what it is that we're doing and making sure that we're able to grow it into something that now we can allow someone else to be able to use it, and so that we can still keep being a part of it and not having to just abandon it and leave it and constantly being in it all the time. That's something that we really need to start focusing on as a people, to make sure that we're able to continue to keep taking care of ourselves and keep taking care of other people around us at the same time. That what happens if your parents run into and end up in a sticky situation where they're not able to take care of themselves? I know a lot of y'all out there is like, oh, forget my parents. I don't care. I don't give a dang about them. Like, I'm never going to do nothing for them. But if you think that way, then you definitely don't know Jesus. You definitely don't believe in God. You definitely have some things that you really need to reconsider before you start going down that path and going down that route. That maybe this is very interesting, but maybe you don't think that you like them for some reasons, but it's not like they really had set a choice to raise you and do everything that they did for you. They had many choices in reality. They had a choice of, like, I could end that kid's life before it came here. I could have had an abortion. I could have put that kid up for adoption. I could have let someone else take care of it. And that's about it in reality. That they made it happen. They made the sacrifice to make sure that you got to a certain point to be able to do what it is that you're able to do. So they made some choices, and then they had to deal with some things to be able to make that happen. And I feel like you have no choice in the end, but if they're struggling, they're hurting, that they need something, that you have to be able to figure out a way in you to be able to make sure that they're good to go as well. And just in the way that the world works today, we're not going to retire when our parents are ready that need our help in reality. That there needs to be something going on so that everyone is good to go and everyone is happening. And it's for us to grow into what it is that we're doing and really dialing in on it and really dial up on it to make sure that we're constantly doing more, gaining more, being more, and not just staying the same and doing the same old stuff and not actually getting anywhere. And the same old stuff basically being like, I'm going to try this, 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 I'm going to try this. And how many things are you going to constantly keep on trying before you realize that you just ran out of time, that you no longer are able to keep on trying some of these things to do what it is that you need to do. And I know I've been a huge part of trying to figure out what it is that I'm trying to do. That I've tried all kinds of stuff. I've had all kinds of things, thinking that this next thing will make me happy. This next thing will satisfy me. This next thing will give me what it is that I need. This next thing will be able to upgrade my life to be able to make sure that I'm good to go. If I just had this, I'd be good. If I just had the van, I do like the van. I like having heat and AC. And something a little bit bigger to carry more of my dogs in, because my mini truck was just, it was kind of tiny. It had heat, it had AC, but it wasn't the best of the best. But I gotta go do this new job. I gotta get this new animal. I gotta get this new skill. I gotta research this new thing. Just kept going and going and going to the point of just trying to find it. And then even sometimes even with these dogs, I like working dogs still. But sometimes with these dogs, I'm just like, I don't know. But still every day I gotta push myself and just keep getting myself into a situation where I'm like, let me try this, because these old methods that I've been using, I like it. But I'm probably going to run into a situation where when I say that this works 100% of the time, it's not going to work. When I say that this works 100% of the time, it's not going to work. I'm going to run into that situation where I'm just like, I don't know what to do here right now. Like, what's my next step? It's plan of action. And that's for me, doing what I'm doing and wanting to be really, really good at the best at what I'm doing, to keep on testing and challenging some new things out. And that's for me to every single day, to keep on testing some new things out, doing some different things and trying some different things to keep on trying to get better and have more knowledge and have more skills. And even if it's not me hands-on doing it, it's me watching someone else do it. It's me trying to get some insight from someone else who's doing what it is that I want to do and want to be about, to keep on growing and growing and growing into, knowing that I have the skills needed and required to be able to make sure that if I run into cases and I run into situations that I'm just like, I've never seen this before. I've never heard of that before. And I don't even know what to do right here, right now. That still hasn't happened to me yet, but I just know that it will, and it's going to, because I love to research more, and I love to test more, and I love to keep on challenging myself more with these animals to try to figure out what it is to be able to give people the best success, and to be able to take care of the animal the way they need to be able to take care of it. And that's something that I want, and I know more of us really need to start dialing in on and dialing up on, with making sure that we're growing more and not just keep on changing into something different and changing into something new. That when we change, we need to change who we are to get closer and have a good understanding of knowing that God is here to help us, God is here to protect us, God is here to provide for us, God is here to make sure that we's good to go. But at the same time, we're not going to constantly keep changing our positions of what we're doing, and our attitudes of where we want to go, and our thinking of what I should have and shouldn't have on a constant day-to-day, week-to-week basis, because that's going to set you up for having nothing and being of nothing and not able to actually do anything. That you need to really take a lot of your resources and really just dial it into one thing and just really watch it grow and watch it go and watch something happen from it, instead of just going all kinds of different places thinking that that's going to get you somewhere, that's going to be able to do something for you. But I will say one thing that you should constantly be working on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis is figuring out how to be able to get your own food and creating your own food. And that's something that you can do both of that at the same time. It's create some food and create your business, I will say, and trying to figure out what it is that you need to do, because we should be focusing a lot on. But in reality, I think this is just me, Mark Anthony Bose Jr., born July 4th, 1986, just thinks that the more that you start to have an understanding of how to grow your own food, the more that you really start to appreciate your own self. You start to appreciate God. You start to appreciate everything around you. You start to really open your eyes up to possibilities of just the absolute greatness that's on this planet. That things start to become more clear for you. Things start to become like more obvious for you. Things start to become more simple for you in different ways, because you're able to secure something and able to do something that is able to maintain yourself and be able to keep yourself going, to keep yourself alive, to keep yourself cruising. And there's a lot of power behind that. There's a lot of power in that I want more and more people to be able to get a part of that, so that you can really start to open up into what it is that who you are and what you're all about, and not out here just feeling like you need everyone and you need this and you need that and you can't survive without this and you can't survive without that. That it's something inside of you that's just crazy and powerful, empowering when you have your own and you're able to take care of your own. It's the coolest of the coolest, and it's something that I know is going to be able to help you to be able to figure out what it is that you really do say want to do. That in reality, something for me, like even working with these dogs, that I liked dogs before I came out here and started messing with this. This Oreo was my first dog coming out here, and I liked them, but I never really saw it in me to I want to work them on a day-to-day, all-day, everyday basis. I never saw it in me to be able to do something like that until I got out here and I started working with this dog. When he started to become about a year old, not even, it was a little bit before, when I saw that he was scared of the goats at first. And then my first inside of me was like, he's supposed to move the goats, but he's scared of them. So what's going on here? But I put him around some tough ones at first. I should have put him around some smaller ones. I should have put him around some soft ones. I should have put him around some that's already been dog broken. I should have put him around some that didn't know that I wasn't needing to move them when they were deciding there wasn't enough food, so that they wanted to escape. And then when they want to fight for that food, they're going to fight for that food to the death. And I put him in that situation too soon. So I started to have to figure out how to build up his confidence, to be able to build him up, to let him know that you tough, man. You could do whatever you want to do. You the toughest of the toughest. And that's why today this dog is extremely tough. Like he is strong, he is bold, he is willing, he's ready to go in it. And just doing that and playing with that really playing with that was in the process of me being able to figure out how to create my own food. How to be able to get a dog and get my chickens around so I can create my food. How to be able to get my goats in, to get my cows in. How to even move my donkey. How to even move another dog. Like how to be able to make sure that he could bark alert if someone tries to walk down this driveway. Like all of this just really got me to I really, really, really like this. Of everything else that I was considering thinking of possibly doing on this planet, of all this internet ad, promotions work and doing painting work and cabinetry work and wood work and all this stuff was just nothing to me when I started paying attention to this animal that really started to upgrade to let me know what it is I really want to do and what I really want to focus on and what I really want to be really, really good at. And I'm just super excited about that because it just led me into something that is just said natural. It's simple, and it's simple to a point that is challenging because for me, when I say simple, it's not that easy when you're running into cases where dogs are trying to bite you or biting people or biting other dogs or biting, just going crazy, just barking, going wild, that don't want to listen, that don't want to sit, that don't want to come to you, that don't want to do nothing. It's very, very challenging, but that's me, that I realize that these dogs aren't that simple, that they're simple to me. I don't know why, but they're simple. They're simple, but they need a lot of mental capacity thinking behind coming up with game plans of how to be able to fix some things and be able to do some things. Oreo, all done. How to be able to do some things to be able to get them and get what it is that you're looking for from them. And it's something that I know that I absolutely enjoy being able to be a part of and being able to do, that just really gets my mind focused, gets my mind moving, gets my mind going to the point of really, really being able to just actually utilize it instead of just doing meaningless tasks over and over, because that stuff would never get me tired. That stuff would never just get me anywhere. It would just keep me just like frustrated in a way, because I was never doing something that was ever able to get my mind busy, get my mind focused, get my mind dialed in, get my mind able to do anything. And it's something that I just noticed that when I started working more and more with creating my own food, I started realizing more and more of what it is that I really want to be able to do and what it is that I really want to be able to focus in on. And I know that that's something that just comes natural with the understanding of who God is, because he put me closer to this. And this all out here, all this work out here and everything out here is all his. It's all about him. He created it all, and I'm out here able to work and manage and maintain it. And it grew me up to be able to let me realize what it is that I really want to be doing and what it is that I really want to be focusing in on and what it is that I really want to be able to help other people be able to do. And with that said, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this absolute level of rain that's come here, that is going to exponentially grow this field back here and make it do something, or I should say up here in the front. I always look at that as the back for some reason, but it's going to make it grow and do something absolutely great and absolutely amazing. And it's going to be able to help me be able to lower my bills here in the next couple of months, so I don't have to keep on feeding these cows, that they can come out here and be able to eat and do what it is that they need to do. And at the same time, the rain is a very interesting thing to just allow me to know like how things get washed down, get cleaned up, get moved along, that it brings a level of I don't know why, but a level of freshness to me. That it's just something that's very, very interesting, that as much as it kind of say like sucks a little bit because it gets colder and it gets wetter and it gets slipperier and it gets muddier and everything gets a little more challenging with that, but it kind of just brings a sense of like cleanliness to me, where it cleans everything. It gets everything kind of like fresh again. It starts to bring out the newness, because it makes the old stuff start to grow again, and it brings new, it brings life, and it brings greatness, and it just brings a extreme level of awesomeness to me when I do really see it, especially the type of rain that we've got this past day. That it's been impressive. Like the rain, like I said, it rains here, but it rained. It did some serious stuff. That it's a rare occasion that it's raining, that when you look out the window and all you see is just water literally falling. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was very, very interesting. It was something that was super eye-opening and super inspirational at the same time, to just watch things just start to do what it has to do so that it needs to grow and start to get better. And it's just very interesting just watching the animals and see what the animals do with it, because, you know, like I said, even the cows usually out there eating on that round bale, even when it's raining. It was raining so good this time that they decided, no, we're not. We're going to sit in the barn. And it's just and even saying that, I'm just so thankful to be able to have the skills and the understanding of how to be able to rebuild that barn, to be able to allow them to be able to use it so that they can stay warm and they can stay dry, and they can be able to hang out in there. And that thing is, every time I go in there, it's pretty watertight, so they get to hang out and be able to have a real nice, luxurious life, that everything out here has somewhere to be able to go to stay nice and dry and to be able to get out of the rain. And I'm so thankful for that, to be able to keep continuing to build some stuff for them. And that's something something that I know has been able to upgrade and make my life so much better. And just being able to do what it is that I need to do to be able to keep on growing instead of just staying the same and just constantly just feeling in a all these terms are cool, feeling in a rut and feeling like I'm just confused of not knowing where to go to next. That I just keep on getting better and better at what it is that I'm doing out here, and better at making sure that I'm able to take care of what it is that I'm taking care of out here. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be a part of that. And something with that just makes you feel very, very grateful for the fact of just being alive. That I woke up this morning to thundering and raining, and I slept all last night to thunder and raining, and I'm just so thankful, so grateful to be alive, to be able to continue to keep doing this and to keep working at it. That I just know that there's something in me, there's something in you, there's something in all of us, that we are all constantly growing into something more and better with every single day. Not weeks and months and years, but every single day, that we're constantly doing something that's making us to be a better person and to be just better around ourselves and better around other people. And that's the main thing that I really want most people to start focusing in on, is making sure that we are helping and doing more for someone else, and for ourselves, even if it's ourselves, but especially ourselves, but helping and doing something for someone else to make sure that they are able to have more than what you're able to have. And I'm also thankful right now for this dog to just want to stay between my legs to keep me nice and warm right now. And I kind of feel like that's what he's semi doing that for too, because he's super toasty, so it makes me feel a little bit better. And I'm grateful for this dog here, Oreo, that wants to keep testing me. He wants to keep challenging me, and I'm still going to stay at it. I'm still going to stay on him. Still going to keep at it, because he's a different kind of dog. And he has I'm going to say just like that, he has the right to challenge me. He has the right to be able to push at me, where this dog here doesn't. My Kahi, he doesn't. But that dog in specific, he does things for me that I cannot do. He does things that he needs to be powerful. He needs to be just fearless. He needs to know that he is the strongest, boldest, cockiest, just most beast mode dog on this planet, because he's got work to do that I just can't do. He's got work to do that none of these dogs can do. And he's able to do that based on the information that I've given him from raising him up and teaching him the way that he needs to be taught. And at the same time, I guess I kind of feel like I'm thankful for not going to the dog training school after I learned how to build his confidence up, because I probably wouldn't have done the things the same way, because I would have been a little scared and a little intimidated with some of the techniques that I did, because I'd be scared of him personally myself, that I would have to keep him crated at all times, because he would be tough to me as well, the way that I was making sure to build him up to be tough. And thankfully, me building his confidence, he's realized he knows he's stronger than me. He knows he's faster than me. He knows he's everything more than me. He knows he's more than me. But he gives me the respect of knowing that I gave him that. And I appreciate that that's the route that we have gone. And we didn't go to the route that he's ready to just try to destroy me the same way that he tries to really get onto these other animals. And I'm really, really happy about that, and I'm just so thankful to be able to be out here and do what it is that I need to do, and continue to keep on making this feed for these chickens, and keep on watching these chickens keep on growing, and keeping this heat going for them when they need it. That they might get the heat shut off, and actually it's about to be freezing weather here for the next couple of days. But after this next freeze comes in, that their heat's probably going to get shut off completely, and they're just going to learn how to survive. And in not even 2 weeks, they're about to be out in the main field running around. They're going to be little babies out there running around. But I'm in the process of coming up with a idea of building a new house for them, so that they can go out in the main field and start to upgrade their life, to be able to do some more and be able to run around some more. And I'm just so thankful to be able to do all this, and I want more people to be able to be a part of this. And with that said, I'm going to head on out of here, because it's starting to get chilly for me. And this coming week, I'm going to have to make a fire or something to be able to keep myself warm, to be able to stand out here and do what it is that I need to do. And I hope that y'all have a great day, a great evening, a great afternoon, a great morning, a week. Because it's the start of a week. Is it Monday? I think it's Monday. Hold on. Yep, this Monday. The start of a week, to be able to do something great this week, do something different this week, make something happen this week. And for most all of us, it's about to be cold, people. It's not just going to be cold here. I'm hearing it's going to be cold everywhere. So this week is a week to really put in a little extra work, to be able to really dial in on taking care of yourself, making sure that you're good to go. And if you see someone out there that's hurting, that's struggling, that's needing something to help them out. Because if it's going to be as cold as they're saying it's going to be cold, it's going to be a shock wave of just something that we're not used to. And they're just saying it's going to be the same temperatures in reality as what it was when I was a baby kid. So it's not something that I feel like is going to be too much. But at the same time, if you haven't been around for a long time, we haven't been in that cold for 30, 40 years, then it's going to be hard on us people. And I hope that you're ready, and I hope that you get ready. And that's something that we got to work on and focus on this week, of doing something more to make sure that we're good to go. Baby chicks, baby chicks.